not hear me now? Yeah, you guys can hear me now. Do you know what I was saying before? I was saying, don't cook me. Don't cook me. And I'm muted already. God, it's a good we couldn't hear me because I was cursing as well. But big up BD in the building. He's in the building behind me. Let's go. Let's go. Don't
Come
cook
on.
us, man. Please don't cook us. You know what I'm saying? Oh, my days.
Long day, man. Long day.
All right. I always keep myself on mute when I'm talking. And look at this. Look behind me.
I thought I was
I've got
bugging, you know. I thought I was bugging. I thought, how can I not
no,
hear
bro.
anything?
On my
No.
system, it's green here, it's green there, but I need to actually click on the mic because sometimes it doesn't
Yeah.
connect. It's so tapped. But bro, you're rambling on mute. Hey, bro, I said not to cook me today, G. I'm not in the mood. I'm not in the mood. Mod me, I won't cook you. Hey, my hands are up in it. Send me a URL. You be modded right away. Do you know what I'm saying? Right away, you can be modded. Be out everyone in the chat, man. You joke, man. Hit the like button and don't be a bozo because VD's channel is going to be popped up right about now. Yeah. So there's no excuses. There we go. On Twitter, that's his handle. Big Chelsea account. And don't forget, people, rivals, I don't care. Cook me today, but subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. Very important. VD, man.
Where do we even start, man? Everything's just falling apart.
The thing is,
Innit?
we haven't spoken. I'm going to get it up. Go on, say your piece because I'm going to get it up.
Yeah, I don't even know what's going on. I was saying on Never a Foul, innit? Like I woke up not angry, but more or less confused, innit? Like I don't know where it's all gone wrong. I'm looking at how we're playing, and just like it looks like a shell of our former self. Like the possession ain't dominant anymore. You know, I saw more build up and more like more style of play in preseason when we were playing awfully than I am seeing now. It's like I'm not seeing attacking patterns. Nobody's moving. I don't know if I pay attention specifically to movement, right? Because I hate it when teams are static. I was watching yesterday, a few games before that. No one's moving. Everyone's standing still, waiting for the ball. Please tell me how that's going to create a dynamic for us to score, because it doesn't. It doesn't. There's no overlaps. Like we saw a few overlaps yesterday. I can't even lie. I saw a few of them, but it's like it's not enough. It's not enough. I don't know. I do hear that though. Someone in the chat just said, "Sorry, VD, I don't like it. I don't like your Twitter." Or I can't lie. Me and Twitter and me and Thing, two different people in it. But you know what I mean? But,
yeah, I get that.
yeah,
Social media, people don't realize social media is not, it's real, but it's not real, innit?
Yeah, I always say me on social media is completely different to me on behind doors. Behind doors, I'm quite quiet, innit? I keep to myself. I don't really talk. I'm very antisocial, but obviously on Twitter, you're speaking to a lot of people, and I have a big following, so obviously I'm very grateful. But it makes me seem like a bit of a, I won't say the words in it, but it makes me seem like I'm not that good of a person. But yeah, I don't know. It's just back onto the thing. I don't know where this has gone wrong. It's like it looks like Maresca ain't coaching them, or they're not listening to him. It's like things went so left, it's crazy. I don't see us hold the ball no more. I don't see us like recycle it with panache. I don't see us like proper attacking. We're not shooting enough. Like this, everything's just going wrong. And I don't know if it's a personnel issue. I don't know if it's Maresca himself. I'm confused. I'm so confused. I genuinely, I have no.
It's problems with Chelsea. So what? Let's go through, because we haven't got too long. Got about half an hour left. Let's go through our top 3 main issues. And someone mentioned in the comments below. Big up every single one of them. I'm going to say hello to every single person who puts in comments. To really appreciate everybody here. Make sure you subscribe to VD's channel. It'll pop up in a second once the highlight of the next chapter goes down. And subscribe to the channel. You can see the ticker there. We're not too far away from 2,000 subscribers, which is crazy to say. So let's get that done, yeah? Let's get that done. I know your rivals, but let's do that. Pay your rent. Danny says here, so we'll talk on the video. We'll make our top 3 main issues. Pretty sure, big up Danny. Pretty sure people have just found that Maresca, it's on him to fix it. Need a pullback to start overlapping.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird because the first 18 games, we spoke a month ago. So we spoke basically probably around the Everton game.
Mm-hmm.
It probably would have been that beginning of January, so the Everton game-ish, right?
Mm-hmm.
We spoke, yeah, and we were happy with the 18 games, and it was all going well. And I don't think there was many issues with scoring goals, creating chances. The only issue we had back then was the defense. We were always conceding goals, but we still do that
And
now.
the errors. We were making a lot of errors as well.
And we still make errors now. So nothing really has changed.
Yeah.
The issue has been the attack. That's been the problem. We don't score enough goals.
Mm.
We're not scoring goals. We're not creating enough clear-cut chances. It's just literally gone from 100 to 0 real quick. Like, we've just gone from a team that can create, that was open, expansive, and now we're a team that looks like they can't even score a goal. Can't even score. Yesterday's goal was crap. It wasn't even a proper goal. The goalkeeper does a normal goalkeeper thing and saves that ball. It's 2-0. Even the West Ham game, there was mistakes. It weren't great. So one of the main issues for me is going to be, I'm going to say, it's the system. Just the system overall is getting found out, and he needs to be able to change it. What do you think about that first issue? Is just we're going to mention it as the system, not the players.
Do you know what? I have actually seen some tactical tweaks, right? We've seen Cucurella overlapping and stuff like that. But I think he just needs to like commit to it more. I understand why he's trying to run the inverted thing with Gusto and stuff like that, because you don't want to be there to get counted, innit? That's the whole idea. He doesn't want to get counted. I think he said something in thing. He uses the inverted one so we don't get caught out as much. But like for me, a good manager will always be someone that can utilize his squad to the best. It's not about your style of play and stuff like that. It's how can you get the best out of these players? Because if we look at someone like Ancelotti, someone that's seen as one of the best managers of all time, he doesn't even have like a system like that in it. He said himself, he just does whatever he can to get the best out of his players, and they'll naturally do the work for him. I think that's the same issue with Maresca. I don't get how you can look at what actually went well last year with Palmer going on the right and giving it, letting him drop into the middle and have it. He has like the whole right side to himself. And when he isn't out wide, then Gusto can overlap and stuff like that. And Gusto's getting used to an advantage. I don't see how you can go from watching all of our games, like he said he did, and seeing that and seeing it work to then completely changing it, where you're having Palmer pick up the ball in DM, so he's not closer to the edge of the box, not having Gusto overlap. You know, he can't pass, bro. I don't know how much of the game you watched yesterday, but Gusto was awful, bro. Awful. Every single time he touched the ball, he did nothing with it. Nothing, because he can't pass, bro. That's not his game. His game is getting up and down the touchline. That's what he is. He's a traditional wingback. And Maresca ain't utilizing the players. That's all it is. I don't get why we're not seeing Nkunku and Thing in a 10. I don't know why we didn't see João Felix in a 10 with Palmer as well. I don't get why we're giving such a burden on Jackson to try and score when we have someone that's perfect with Nkunku as a shadow striker. We're not using him like that. We're not using our players to our advantage, and that's on him. I think a lot of the issues I'm starting to clock are starting to actually stem on Maresca as well. Where's our defensive structure? Where is it? He's been here for what, 5 months, 5-6 months. Where is our defensive structure? It's not there, bro. Now, some of that it does come down to thing, and it does come down to personnel. Like, I don't think Tosin, I don't really see as a mad starter for us. Levi Colwell, I don't think he's a good defender. You know, Chalobah, I think he's been the best out of us centre-back since coming in. But is he really the world-class centre-back we need to know? Is the goalkeeper an issue? Yes. So half of it is down to personnel, right? But it's also on him for not trying to use a system that benefits us more. Now, I can't lie. If I was to try and fix this, I'm going to 5-back, bro. I can't lie. I'm going to 5-back. If Levi Colwell can't defend, and let's say all three of these centre backs, if they all can't defend, yeah, they're gonna need an extra man to help them. And not only does that give you that, you can still run the inverted thing with Cucurella. You can invert him and then have Gusto get up the line, because it's a back five, innit? He has more freedom to get forward. You have 3 centre backs covering. It's more stable, but he's not gonna do it. Because especially Italian managers as well, they're stubborn in it. They love to die on their laurels. Like they will die on what they built. Yep. And it cost Chelsea. And that's the issue that I have. When managers do this and they are so committed to playing the way they want to play, that makes you a bad manager, bro. You have to utilize your squad no matter what. And he's not doing it. Change your system. Even if it could just be a short-term thing until you get the players that you want. But you got to change something now, or we're not getting top 4. I can't lie. I think it was last week, yeah. I was on Never a Foul, and I said I'm still confident that we'll get top 4. I don't think we'll get top 4 anymore. I really don't, unless the system changes. I I've lost the confidence. Obviously, I do sympathize with Maresca a little bit because it's like, look at his defense, bro. Like, who's he got? He's got Jackson up top. He's got Sanchez in goal. The centre backs aren't good enough. I think the only centre back that's good enough to start for Chelsea is Fofana for me, and he's injured in it. And he doesn't have Lavia. He doesn't have Reece James. I do sympathize with him a bit, but it's also on him because he's not built a system that can get the best out of all of the players that are playing. And it's literally, it's completely on him. You could have been running a 2-striker partnership with Jackson and Nkunku. That would work. It gives Cole Palmer more space like you want him to have, but you're not doing it. You're just dying on these laurels, man. I don't like it. I do not like it at all. It's a shame. It's a shame because things were going so well, man. It was going so well.
Everything was going well, and then all of a sudden now, it's the walls have fallen off. And there's no structure. Defensively, we've had poor structure the whole season. That's facts. Attacking-wise, it was good. Jackson was the pinnacle and the wingers were creating chances. And now literally all that's dissipated. All of a sudden it's just gone. And what I don't like is revisionism. People bring up Christian Pulisic, people mentioning Hudson-Odoi, people mentioning Mudryk not being here. It's not that. Something to do with that, bro. Let's not revise.
If they was in our team, they wouldn't be performing, especially Pulisic.
Pochettino. Oh, no. Bro, stop revising history. 2 things can be true is my favorite saying on this show. 2 things can be true. You can have a crap manager. You can also have a crap manager. I'm not calling Maresca crap. The reason why I can't call Maresca crap is like what VD said. First 18 games were flying. We were 1 game away from being top of the league halfway through the season. That's a lot of games. That's not a coincidence. So you can't now go from that to, he's a crap manager. Even Ange, it was only 10 games. It weren't 20. We were nearly 20 games into the season, and we were doing our thing. And now look who we are now.
I think also the reason I also can't go for Maresca out, and like you said, like I do sympathize with him a bit, is because some of those games as well, where how many was it? 1 in 9 or 2 in 9 or something like that, or 1 in 7. I can't remember the exact number, but it's like some of the games we did deserve to win, and it was only because because of Jackson's poor form that we ended up losing or drawing. If we had like a Gyökeres or let's say, I even think Sesko would have finished a lot of them chances because he's a good ball striker, or Duran or someone like that. If we just had a proper striker, we probably would have won those games, but we don't. So it doesn't offer another narrative. So again, the sporting directors are also to blame because I don't know what they're doing, man, but they're not on our side. They're not on our side. And I can't lie, another issue, it has to be them. Like, first I'd say, I'm not saying Maresca's the worst issue, but he's one of the issues right now because he's not being fluid enough, and he's not being expansive, and he's being too stubborn. And one of the other ones, the sporting directors, bro. The sporting directors, Ekbali, like Clear Lake in general, they don't know what's good for this club, bro. They're there to go, like you said on Never a Failure. How many have we spent on these flips? We don't need flips, bro. Why would we need flips? Do they not realize we're Chelsea? We're Chelsea. We're not we're not Brian. We don't need to flip our players. We generate enough. So why are you worrying about that? I wouldn't be worrying about that. Go put that time and effort into signing a striker, or at least laying proper groundwork. So I would have been fine if you had told me in this January window, listen, we've signed Gyökeres, but he's not joining now, innit? He's joining in the summer. Like, so we're gonna have to firm it, but he's there, he's done. I would have been like, do you know what? Cool, you've done that, innit? Like, I understand they might not want to sell him now, but we've got a proper good player for the next season. But they don't want to do it. They don't want to do it. They need to sell. They need to sell to Bowley. They need to sell.
So they've got the first issue is the tactics. So well broken down by VD. Sorry, guys, my charge is broken, so I'm all over the place. I'm listening. Yeah, no, all right. The first problem is the tactics. The second problem is obviously sporting directors. The sporting directors are, and that's why I mentioned VD. I tried to do it in order earlier on NAF and to say sporting directors, manager, because they go hand in hand. So for me, they've neglected certain areas. They've not got the right areas and the right experience in the right areas. They've got Neto, who's experienced, but he wasn't really proven in terms of he wasn't a world-class winger in the Premier League. He's a good winger, not world-class. My problem is this summer is the last summer I'm going to be somewhat optimistic about this model. If BD in the summer, we don't get a Gyökeres type signing or Sesko even, because I don't necessarily think we need a world-class striker. We need someone the right profile. We need something a bit different. We haven't got
Ball
that.
striking, innit?
That
It's ball striking.
ball striker. We don't. PD, I'm not even just saying
That's
this.
why I want to do
We're in
that.
terrible form, and I'm not looking at my team going, "Oh my gosh, we're so far off it." Everyone's annoyed because we see we can go up levels. The reason why VD's annoyed isn't because he thinks we're average. It's because he looks at the team and goes, "Hold on a minute, we've got the right ingredients here to cook. We're just not doing the right things, the right players, the right tactics. We're not buying the right players. We're not getting the formation correct." So he's saying VD saying go 5 at the back, which is fair. Other people saying overlap. But the point is, the small margins, VD, make a big difference. And we're not doing the small margins correct. And something that's not small is a striking issue we have. That's a massive issue. That's not a small issue. So when you don't have that and then you have small issues, now you have a big issue. We can't win 2 in 9 games. You see? So, but this is it, VD. You've seen on this channel and we've spoken. Like, I'm a bit more, I don't mind the model because I think it can work. But it was on the preference that that we actually bought certain players like striker and goalkeeper centre back. If I don't see us buy, even if they're young, I don't care, VD. I don't care. I don't care if they're young. Because I know this team, I don't mind. Here's the thing. Arsenal's problem was, listen up, chat. Arsenal's problem was they're growing their team, but they're not winning anything. Concentrate. Everyone listen up. My problem with Arsenal is they don't win nothing. If Chelsea are building a team, VD, and they pick up an FA Cup, they pick up a Europa League, we won't be in the Europa League, we'll be in Champions League. But we're getting to finals, we're winning trophies. That's what I don't mind seeing. Progression by winning, not by competing. People mentioning Pochettino made it semi-final. We didn't win. I don't care. Poch made the final. I don't care. We didn't win it. And I was there both times. And we didn't win. I don't give a toss about coming second. I don't give a toss about a process if it doesn't give me armpits. Do you understand? Get me trophies. Get me progression in the league. Get me winning mentality, and I'm happy. And right now, VD, we're seeing none of that. Now we're at the FA Cup. Now we're at the Carabao Cup. And it links back to Spawn directors and links back to his tactics. They're the two main issues we're speaking about, problems with Chelsea. As you can see there. Subscribe and hit the like button as well. Let's do it right now, guys, in the chat. Let's do it. Mods, perfect timing. CFC, let's push these likes up. Loads of people in here, let's push these up. Let's go. Yeah? But, VD, man, the Spawn directors have the best interest at heart. I'm going to give them one more chance, VD. I'm not at Arsenal. I'm not going to give it 6 years. It's been 2 years. It's been 2 years of them joining because they joined in 2023 January. It's now been 2 years. Okay? This is it. You don't get a good striker. What do we need, VD? It's for the spine. We need a midfielder, striker, centre-back, and maybe a goalkeeper because I don't mind Philip Wilkinson because I think he's number 1 now. So I think Jorgensen will... I'm
not confident with Jorgensen, man. I've heard stuff for his time at Villarreal. I don't think... I like Kobo in it. Like, they call him the yellow ward. They called him something like that in thing, but he's also mistake-prone. Like, there's just something about goalkeepers, yeah. There's not a lot of super great ones on the market. I don't think we need a midfielder personally. I'd personally bring back Andre Santos. I'd probably bring back Ugo Chukwu as well. I think our midfield is fine, but the centre back can't run because Levi Colwill can't defend. He cannot defend. He needs to, in my opinion, revamp his career in it. I don't think he's a centre back. He needs to either start playing as a left back, start playing as a DM or something. Start learning something else that isn't the centre back because his defending ability is awful. But the goalkeeper, centre back, and defo the striker, that's the spine that we need. That is absolutely the spine that we need. And it's just, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's tough. It is tough, and I don't like the situation that we're in. I personally wouldn't give the sporting directors another season. I think they're done. I think they're done. And hopefully, I know someone said about the ticket touting that they think Bowley will be done and stuff like that. I don't think so. I think it's very convenient that the news got out when it did. I think Clearlake Iqbali has pushed that in there to try and stir the pot. Hopefully, Bowley buys because he actually does listen to the fans. He does listen to the fans. In the summer window, he listened to Tuchel. He backed the Tuchel to the manager for what he needed. But then, obviously, it didn't work out in it. But it's the right ambition. It's the right ambition. It's the right path to head down. And I think with him, we would have been in a way better space. We probably would have got the superstars like Leao. We probably would have ended up getting Gavardio, you know. We probably would have ended up getting Declan Rice. Declan Rice, obviously, we ended up getting Caicedo in it, and I'm grateful for that. But we also could have had both. We also could have had Caicedo and Declan Rice instead of Caicedo and Lavia. Like, we would have ended up with these targets. We probably would have ended up with Osimhen. We would have paid the extra. We wouldn't have had this very rigid wage structure deal. I mean, look what Reece James got put on a lot of money. So did Sterling. So did Koulibaly. And cool, they haven't worked out. But it's the foot that counts, isn't it? It's like you could just move them on. Remember, it was Bowley that was the one to go to Saudi and start moving people on. Like Becca said in the thing, it was like Barley who sacked Tuchel. He didn't want him. He didn't want him. I know who hired Potter. I know that it was heavy on Thing. It was heavy on Bowley. But I'm still of the thought that Potter weren't even the wrong direction. And I think if Potter was given the preseason and didn't have that bloated squad, he actually probably could have done all right. But it was the right direction, innit? And it's, I don't know. It's such an awful position to be in. But I hope that there's a light at the end of the tunnel, because I can't keep doing Clear Lake and all of this nonsense and this structure. Like, I don't mind the youth structure as well, but it depends on the people that you get, right? I think Esteval, brilliant buy. I think Esteval's a brilliant buy. Paez, brilliant buy. Penders, brilliant buy. Anselmino, another brilliant one. But when we're seeing Cassidy, yeah, we're seeing Cassidy's an awful buy. Dastro Fofana was awful. How many other players like that were absolutely awful? These youngsters that were never, like, we spent a lot on Washington as well. Like, all of this adds up to about 250 million. Do you know how much that is? Carney, I did like the Carney one, but we just never played him. And that's also another issue that I had with Maresca as well. He's not willing to take chances, isn't it? Like, Felix should have been starting. Why did Felix not start? Because Maresca was a coward. Carney should have been getting more minutes. Why did Carney not start? Because Maresca was a coward. Stuff like this, you know. And they go hand in hand, innit? They wanted to sign a yes, or Clear Lake wanted a yes man. They wanted a yes man manager. We got a yes man manager. And look where it's put us. So I think they need to go. Clear Lake need to go. Maresca, I'm willing to give a little bit more of a chance. I'll give him another year. But if he doesn't improve rapid over the next year, he also has to go.
He needs to improve. But I'm not
we need a fresh start, man. I think we need a fresh start, and it's going to start with Bowley buying out the Clear Lake percentages.
Well, there's a lot to talk about, man. Random, like someone said before, the likes on this thing is such a joke. There's a lot of people in here, and I'm seeing 20 likes. Let's hit the like button right now. Don't be a joke, man. I'm going to wait here till you at least get to 40 likes. I need 20 of you to hit the like button right now. Hit those likes. Hit those likes right now. Right now. You're enjoying the chat. You're part of the Rivals. Have you all liked this video? You must do. Now, hit the like button, man. Why are you being bozos, man? Come on. What the hell's going on? Let's do it like this. Let's go. Hit that like button immediately. We're not going to say anything, VD. Let's just wait here. Hit that like button.
You still need to understand, innit? Like, it gets us into the algorithm and stuff like that. It helps out. If we're gonna grow, the like buttons need to be smashed in it. Like, it's the way YouTube works. If you're trying to support, it's the easiest thing you could do for free. No, not even
like button. Let me check it right now.
Donation, stuff like that.
I hit the like button when you're on mute. When you're rambling on mute.
That's a real one right there, man. That's a real one right there.
He's always in my chat. He's funny. Hey. Let's see what I've gone for you lot. Okay, went up a little bit. Okay, fair enough. We're hitting the like button. But as we were saying, yeah, the thing is, yeah, like, I have to think realistically, I don't think they're gonna. Is a dispute between Bowley and Igbali who's gonna buy it or who should keep it. It's tough. I'm just gonna say, I'm not opposed to him keeping it if they change up the model slightly. What I'm asking for is this.
No chance.
This is my opinion, yeah. Football's changed a bit, innit? Like, youth is very much important of all our football clubs, innit? Like, youth is important for all the football. In Man City, they spent 250 million on youth. Marmoush wasn't youth, but everyone else was, right? Cool, it's changed. Mm-hmm. Haaland was bought as a young guy. He wasn't fucking 30, was he? He's scoring goals, he's a young guy. Proven. They just need to change the model where you still have your youth in the team, but you also buy your Gyökeres. You also buy your top class goalkeeper. You also buy your midfielder who's experienced. And then you could have the Palmers and the Nonnies and around them who could thrive off those players. But what they're doing, VD, is they've gone too youthful. They've gone, oh, youth. Everyone's youth. Come through the door. Yeah. 18-year-old. Yeah. 15-year-old. What, 12-year-old, VD, yeah? You 12, yeah? Yeah? 12-year-olds, yeah?
Step over, you're in the
7
team,
and
man.
that.
It's a joke.
Kids in the playground. Yeah, we want him. We'll give you 5 million. Yeah? You down, G? Idiots. Get some experience in. That's what I'm saying, VD. I'm going to, you know what it is? Like Saeed said about Arsenal fans, the meltdown is always around the corner. Sometimes you've got to wait. I'm going to wait, VD, yeah, until we end the summer transfer window, and then I'm going to let myself know where I stand. I swear down, if we don't get a top-class striker in the summer, a top-class centre-back, a top-class goalkeeper, I'm done with this ownership. And to be on VD's point, I don't mind if we get rid of them early. So the sporting directors leave tomorrow, I actually don't mind because they're getting on my nerves. They're getting on my nerves. Why do you keep persisting with this stupid model that's getting you from 6th to 4th, maybe? And like certain fans like VD are thinking, we might not even make top 4. So you might go from what, 12th to 6th to 6th? And you're still going, yep, the model's working perfectly fine, yep. Nothing's wrong here. It's all perfect. You idiots. Come on, man.
The fact they talk about opportunities in it. We see briefs and stuff come out about how there's opportunities and stuff like that. How was Kvaratskhelia? How was he not an opportunity? Do you see what they bought him for? They bought him for about 57 million, and his wages weren't even that mad. They said he was paying him like 4 times his wages, but he was on like 40k a week. We could have paid that for a world-class winger who can not only create but can score, that can play in the 10, that can play on both wings. We could have done that, but they didn't. So it's showing that they're lying. They are lying. If they wanted an opportunity, listen, Leipzig just spent how much on Simmons? It was like 80 million euros. They are going to need money. Why would you not throw an offer at Leipzig for Sesko? Why would you not throw it out? They're not going to be able to keep up. They don't generate that much money. They do it from sales. It's the same as thing. It's the same as so many. It's just it doesn't make sense. Even the lap. Look at where Ipswich are. Ipswich are in. Vidic was on 315k a week. Is he out there now? Even so, come on, man. We all know that.
Big up Solomon every single time. Big member
If,
of the channel.
If we had thrown a decent offer at Kavicha, there's a good chance he would have came to us. You know, Premier League, London is an attraction.
Big up Solomon. What VD's saying is like even the lap, because someone said before. Eamon said it. Big up Eamon. He's always in my chat. He said, "Ches, don't hype up the lap if he joined, because you know, like I understand that." But what Solomon's saying is he's on high wages, so we won't do it. But what VD's also saying is, if you told the lap or told Ipswich we're going to give you 65 million, 40 up front for the lap, they're not saying no. They're going to get relegated anyway.
Never saying no. That price is going to drop in half. It's going to drop in half when they get relegated. It's not even if, it's when.
For players that they don't necessarily want, they don't want to pay over the odds. So I respect that for Caicedo, they were like, no, we're getting him. We want him. He's cold. Baleba, even in the summer, we're linked with him, right? They might go, Baleba, he's fantastic. We want him and Caicedo playing together for the future. Lavia's too injury prone. Cool. But with players that are like in the middle about, they don't go over the odds. We needed a striker, VD. So you had to go over the odds for the lap. You had to. You didn't have a choice. You can't cheat your way. There's no escaping that Maresca, like VD said before, and we've said before on NAF, Maresca's made issues. The system needs tweaking. Like I'm saying the third time, other people, like VD on this channel, said 5 at the back would work. Where's the defensive stability? I understand all this. But Maresca's not got the tools at all. He hasn't. Nor did Poch. Which is why with Poch, on my life, I'm going to swear on anybody's life because I don't want to do that. But on my, what I'm saying is, when people were asking you Poch in and Poch out, I was in the middle up until about May. When we lost, we drew to Sheffield and that at home. Do you remember those games? We drew to Burnley at home with 10 men in that. That's when I was Poch out. But even Poch had the wrong end of the stick. But we're not going to revise that because he had us in 12th for half the season, by the way. For half the season. So that's not good enough. Even though Maresca's crap, guess what we are? 4th. See?
I also feel like we are lucky with that though, because we've also banked on a lot of teams being awful.
Because the same way we were unlucky to finish only 2 points behind Villa and Spurs. It's just how it is.
True. Some games, I guess he has also been unfortunate in it, but we are lucky in a sense that City have dropped off. You know, other teams aren't picking up as much form.
It was the same way we were lucky that Spurs won their first mad games, and they were only they had won in 3-4 months, and they still finished above us. It's luck the fact that they haven't won in 3-4 months, maybe.
I guess it's also a luck that we dropped off in it. Like we also dropped off massively, so it was lucky for the other team.
Exactly. So it works both ways.
I do get where you're coming from. Yeah.
So my point is, we weren't good enough to get top 6. End of. And right now we're still top 4. And VD's right. That could change next week. If we lose against Villa, boy, it changes again. Because I can't see us beating Brighton away next week. I can't. I said it already, guys. I've got a receipt here ready for in 3 games' time. I said we got Brighton back-to-back and Villa get back-to-back. And guess what, rivals? I don't think we're going to win any of them. I don't think we're going to win 1 game out of 3. And I said it, and I said it with chest. I also said we'd lose the other day. I was right. I know my team more than anybody. That's just the arrogance because I have a channel. I've got to say that. I know he's a smart guy. He's got his own Twitter. He knows what he's talking about. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm joking. I don't know everything, but I'm going to be arrogant and say I know my club more than anybody. Everyone can say that, right? But I'm going to say it. Chelsea are not winning their next 2 games. Chelsea are not winning their next 2 games, and it's because of the reasons we've listed already. We're going to go over it again for summary. The manager needs to fix up the tactics. The defensive stability, like VD said, was spot on, is not good enough. Our wingers are too far away from our attackers. The fullbacks need to overlap. Stop being stubborn and change it. It's now been 9 games and 2 wins, and you're sitting there with a bald head, looking around the screen like this, confused. Do something about it, then.
It always annoys me when the fans can see it more than the actual manager. That's the bit that annoys me the most, because you're the one that's supposed to be in charge. You're supposed to be the one with all the coaching badges. You're supposed to be the one that knows about football. That's like a tactical, mastermind or whatever compared to like your average person. But we can all see it more than you can. Like, why is that a thing? Why is that a thing? Why can we see the issues and they can't? People always tell me, or they always say, let the football experts do their thing. They're in it for a reason. Well, tell me why, those football experts, despite sporting directors, like everyone says, let them do the football thing. Tell me why half of the fan base was saying, we want Chalobah to stay. He's good enough to play for Chelsea. Is he good enough to be a starter? That's a debate in it. Is he good enough to be a starter? Maybe not. But he's good enough to play for Chelsea, especially over Disasi. Now tell me why 5 months later, or however long it's been, the sporting directors begged Chalobah to come back whilst they got rid of Disasi. So who was right? It was the fans that have been watching this club for years and years and years and understand football. Like they don't take us. It's like they don't take us seriously. They think that we just got egos or we're just entitled, but it's not. We're saying this from a good. We're saying it from a good place. We're not saying it because we don't like you. We want to run the club. No, it's because we know what we want.
You want the best for you in the club. Like it's not.
You see what I mean?
Arrogant. He'll misunderstand. Even earlier, I know Mons understands. Mons is a nice guy. He understands. But when we're saying spend money, we're not saying it like, really. He thinks we're saying it like, yo, casino, let's go. It's no. It's just
exactly.
If you're not getting it right, you have to spend money to get it right. That's how it works. What are you gonna? Is Jackson gonna magically turn into Ronaldo? is Palmer magically going to turn into the best player ever seen on planet Earth and start scoring every single goal? Is Chalobah all of a sudden going to turn into Maldini? No, you need to buy players.
So many mistakes, man.
This is a bit of both. You need to have a bit of both. And so many great points. It's not. So I think Zola said it. There's so many of you in the chat who also always in my chat. So big up every one of you is still here. You man are my loyal fans. So I really appreciate that. Like Jason, because I'm big up Jason. Wham guy as well. Big up Jason. Why is everyone blaming sporting directors? They don't control the club, the owners do. The sporting directors were scouts for Chelsea and they're just shills. 100%. When we mention sporting directors, we're also talking about the ownership, innit? We're also talking about the ownership.
Because they also have to follow like what they've been told as well. Like they're saying I assume McBarley's saying because he likes the whole Brighton model, he likes Tony Bloom and he admires him a lot. And you assume that he's saying, go get these players to flip.
Yeah.
But at the same time, these lot could pick better targets, innit? Like, why have you picked Madueke?
So what he's saying, I don't know whether he's saying to them, only go for youth because they bought Neto. He's not youth.
Mm-hmm. That was McBarley, actually, that when I got
exactly.
him myself. That was like a personal project.
That's not youth.
Yeah, I don't understand it, man. So why the whole club just shambles.
Why are we going for youth if Neto's in the club? So it's not just about youth. But what he's saying to them is, yo, go out and find the best talent. And they're signing man like Disasi. Come on, man. Come on.
I'm pretty sure, like, the combination of Disasi and Badiashile, I think someone said they almost got relegated together at Monaco. And then Stuart decided, yeah, let's bring them both in. They were good. Let's bring them both in. How? Anyone could have told you they were not good enough. Badiashile, I can understand. He's actually got talent. But Disasi's had like one good game in a Chelsea shirt. And that was because we played a low block and we just defended for our lives. That was it. Yeah. That's the only way. And any defender's going to look good doing that. Any defender will look good playing in a low block, blocking shots all the time, especially when you have a frame like Disasi's. He's a big man. He looks like a thing in the chat. He looks like Jason in the chat. It's swole.
Bro, he's 6'4". Like, he's quite physical. He's not pacey, but of course he's a footballer. Of course he could do the basic defensive work. When it comes to more than that, he's useless. Half the team says Cobham boys and 3 chances. Bro, our spine is injured. Fofana, James, and Lavia will make our team 10 times better, but they never fit.
Lavia and
Fofana alone cost about 130-40 million. Them and themselves make us a better team. But guess what? They're never here. So
also, I think our team, I did a rundown of it. Our like main team, obviously Felix ain't there now, so it's like give or take a couple of the men that we've moved on. It cost like 900 million roughly in total. You know, that was like a whole squad that was playing at the time. I did that like 2 months ago or something like that. Maybe it's a bit less. Maybe it's like 800 million now. But then you look at the rest, and it's like 200 million or 300 million has gone on these young players. Like these young players that they just never played. Like some of them, how much? Ugo Chukwu was like 20 million. So was Chukwuemeka. So was I think Cassidy was like 10 million. And then you got Kellyman, Wiley, Dashro Fofana, like all of these players that we bought that are still employed at the club. They cost a lot of money, bro. A lot of money. And it's only a handful of players at the same time. Like you can only really say Palmer, Caicedo, Cucurella. Maybe Enzo to an extent have been worth it. I'd say maybe Sancho because he didn't cost a lot, but then it's poor spending. That's all it is. It's poor spending, and I think a lot of people don't even.
You've got to be real with it. Like it's poor spending, and if they just spent 200 million correctly, we wouldn't be in this mess. But they want to be
60 million.
They want to be frugal in certain instances, and other instances they don't want to be frugal. It's not making sense. You need to have a balance. You need to be able to look at the squad and say, you know what? We need certain positions that we're going to spend more money on. These positions are really key for us, VD. They're very key for our team, like striker, like midfielder, like centre-back and goalkeeper. But the other players, we're still going to do our thing. That's fine. You've got Caicedo there. You've got Palmer there. You've got Sancho's got a bit something about him. You've got Noni's got something a bit about him. You've got Neto. You've got Mudryk, who I do rate, but he might not come back, but you're going to replace him anyway. Cool. You've got George, who's a good prospect. Let's get these key strikers, these key midfielders, and then let's build a really, really good core. Lavia's injury prone? Cool. Let's go replace him with Baleba. Yes, it's going to cost us money, but we want the team to thrive. But no,
or you actually use one of the players that you bought in Ugo Chukwu. I think Ugo Chukwu is good enough to play for Chelsea. He's a techie player. He's got a big frame. How about you actually use these lot? Because remember, we need to remember what football was like back then, innit? Obviously, nowadays, all of the young players are more entitled. But realistically, it should be the young bucks learning off of the players ahead of them, innit? They should be taking their time. Yep. Maybe they go on loan. I think Ugo Chukwu, as backup to Caicedo, and potentially starting from game to game, because remember, Caicedo can play as a box-to-box as well, or even in a pivot, and Enzo could just go and do his own thing like he usually does. That would be good. So why are you not trusting the own signings that you have bought? What was the point? You're just wasting time. You've wasted energy. And look at all of the time and effort that we put into someone like let's say Cassidy, yeah. We spent all this time and energy to go get him signed, right? How much profit did you actually make from that? Well, like 2 million. Really? Like 2 million. That's the profit you want to make, 2 million. You don't want to make those.
Does he count as homegrown?
I don't think he counts as homegrown, no, because he didn't really. He went on loan straight away, bro.
Knowing the Chelsea board, he probably does. VD, he probably does.
I highly doubt it. I think it would have been. I think it would have been reported if he was counted as homegrown, because homegrown.
The reason why I say that is
what makes you homegrown?
I think if you're a certain age and you're developed in a club by a certain age, let's find out.
The thing is, he isn't young. He isn't that young. Like I swear down, Cassidy's like 22.
I think he's 20.
Don't you have to be he's really young to be homegrown?
He's not 22. No way.
Well, could always check in it.
Told you, a player counts as homegrown if they're signed, they're registered with the FA for at least 3 years before turning 21.
At least 3 years.
So he counts as homegrown, bro.
You weren't here for 3 years.
No,
you weren't here for 3 years.
If you sign them up for 3 years, it says. If they have been registered with the FA affiliated club for more than 3 years. So basically, if you sign a player from Spain who's under 21 for more than 3 years, he counts as homegrown.
That's cringe.
They're frauds. Cringe. They're frauds.
Hey, Solomon, I hear what you're saying, but please do not count Penders in that, because Penders is actually good. But Caleb Wiley, Washington,
the conversation here
Angelo Datro, them, I understand.
10 that are duds, there's always going to be one that's good. Like, in this list, for example, big up Solomon every single time. Like, Datro Fofana is not a bad player. Casadei is not a bad player. He's going to a top Italian club. They're not bad players. Mike Penders is not bad. He's playing for a first team in Genk. Is that Austria or Belgium?
Belgium. He's doing well there as well. He is doing well there.
He's taken over as the first. And Belgium Genk, these Genk teams get into Europa League in that. Some of them get into champs. So they're not bad players. But what me and Vidi are saying is have these gambles, but also get the guarantees. Get the guarantee striker.
They have to come hand in hand. They have to come hand in hand.
In January, I think we'd be second place. I've said this 10 million times. We're crap. And we're like 7 points behind Arsenal, who've only lost 2 games. So come on, like it's big up Joey every single time. Big up Joey. Bro, it's not that deep. We're not that far off. Don't listen to the media. I know the Chelsea VD's part of it because he has content and he's his own person. But I don't agree that the model is completely washed. I agree it's tapped and he's tweaking. But if you added in a core spine in our team, why couldn't we be second place fighting for the league right now?
That's what I always say as well. The model is fine, like you said, and if you have a spine. Like, do that if you want, have your fun with your flips.
Yeah.
Get the main teams sorted first. If there's no issue in the main team, like, and we're winning games, no one's gonna notice. Go spend all you want on your Cassidays and stuff like that. Go ahead, have your fun with it. But fix our main team first. The fact that we haven't got a goalkeeper is outrageous. Centre backs, I can hear why you wanted to take the gamble, but the goalkeeper and the striker, unforgivable. Unforgivable. We should have bought Sesko in the summer. You let him sign a new deal. We should have bought Gyökeres in the summer. You let him stay. Why? And I know why we haven't got a goalkeeper. It's because of Ben Roberts, innit? He basically sees Robert Sanchez as his love child. But this is also going to fall on Maresca as well. Why are you listening? So you set up the team. Grow a pair. You know what I mean? Just grow a pair. You don't go against the grain. Why are you always listening to what these lot are doing? You have your own. Thought process.
Yeah, you make a great point there. Big up Joey, just joining. He must be listening. He's like, get me involved because the chat's off. Everyone's just really annoyed right now. It's good to get a chance to vent because when you're on spaces with people that are rivals, agendas have to agenda in it. Like, you can't mention 1.5 billion and then go, oh, what? You spend money, and it's like, let's use context here so we can talk objectively. Here's the problem, like VD said. My opinion, don't think the model is all bad. I'm not gonna give up on the model yet. I don't like to see myself as a sheep. A lot of Chelsea fans have turned. That's your opinion. That's how you want to view it. I respect all my viewers. Respect Joey. Respect VD if they view it that way. That's fine. In my opinion, I genuinely believe the club will spend money in the summer on these players we need. If they don't, I'm wrong. I'll put my hands up. I don't think we're too far away from doing good things in the league. But guess what the problem is? They need to prove that they're not all about profit by getting these said players. Now, if they get a Delap, am I going to twerk? No, but it's a good profile for the club. If they get me a Gyökeres, that proves what I'm saying is right, that they do want to get the top players.
I think the whole Gyökeres thing has to rely on if Amarin ends up staying at Man U by the end of the season. If he's there at the end of the season,
yeah, it's out of our hands to a certain degree.
I think he will stay. I don't see why they'd move him on.
But
I know
you
he's
might get my point. It's not about Gyökeres. It's the type of like the fact.
No, I get it. I 100% get it. I've been screaming for a striker for literally over a year now. Like I sat here last January. I created my channel last year based off of us needing a striker, and I was doing profiles on strikers that we could go and get. It, like to me this is just like, when are they, like you've said, but when are they going to address priorities instead of opportunities? Like, that's the real question that needs to be asked. Like,
that's the word I was going to use as well.
Every single window we go in, and we hear it as, oh, we're going to be looking for opportunities. Why? Why are we looking for opportunities? We've had enough opportunities. At this point we have. I mean, at this point we have. Like there has to be a point where we just go for the specialist positions that we need to address. Like it's that simple. Stop getting profiles that can play two positions and get one guy that can play striker. To be honest, I'd take two. As much as everybody loves Nico Jackson, and I love Mark Gu and what Mark Gu could potentially be, I'd take two strikers at this moment at this club. I don't care. Let them fight it out. I'd rather have more than enough options up top than not enough options up top.
This is the thing. We don't mind you doing your model on the side. Like, fine. If you want to sign Cassidy, homegrown player, sell him on, and make it be a profit for the books, fine. Do it.
Nobody would care if we had no one would care if we had everything.
I literally said this the other day. If we brought the players in, if we brought the players in, no one would care because we do more in the league.
Yep.
Maresca will still make his mistakes, fine, and then we'll judge him for that individually. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We'll look at him in isolation, but yeah, you've got striker now. You need to be doing better. That's fine. But the issue is, the reason why no one should be looking at Maresca at all, I know it sounds really silly to say that.
No, not necessarily at all, right?
Like, no, but you get my point though. On the whole,
he has to be.
Listen.
I agree. There's no reason. I don't like.
When it comes to problems, I don't like to look at things in a vacuum. So I'm not going to say to him, you're completely obliged of all blame. It's nothing to do with you, and it's just the sporting directors. It's not that simple. Life is nuanced. In life, there's little things that make a big difference.
Well, you can't put the blame on one person.
It's not. That's my very point. But here's what I would say. We can all sit here and say the sporting directors have shown their hand, revealing their true colors. They've turned into a butterfly. We're seeing them fly away. We could see what they're on, basically. So if they don't do what's required, there's only so many managers that can come in until we go, hold on a minute. What are you really on?
Manager comes in, bro.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what manager you bring in. Get rid of Maresca, then we'll be here again year after year after year, fighting for the same stupid top 4 objective. I'm going to say it again. Top 4 is not a trophy. I don't care if we make it. It's just an objective we have to meet because we haven't been there for 2 years. That is it. If we get
more objective for money. That's what it is. It's more
but we need it as a club because we need to be back at the top level.
So we can actually spend the way that we're supposed to spend. Like that's what it comes
exactly, and attract the best players.
Yeah, like that's
if we win Champions League last year, at least he's up.
And like, heck, I don't want this to be like just a sporting director thing because in the end, like I want to put blame on yesterday's. Like once again, I'm not necessarily like super pissed off at the result just based off of how we lost. You know what I mean? Like It was just like the lack of VAR in that game. If that game's a Premier League game, that's a draw. In the end, that game's a draw. So, like, to me, it's not the result itself; it's the lack of performance, right? And like, to me, that's the bigger question mark for me is like, why aren't some of these players stepping up a little bit more? I'm watching Palmer hit through balls over and over and over in that game. I'm watching Sancho not be aggressive for an entire half. I'm up like then we all sit here and blaming Cuckoo about it. Like yeah, and Cuckoo wasn't good, right? He wasn't. But neither was his creation. Like Neto, bro, I love you, bro. You could get past nearly anybody in this league. But bro, our striker's 5'9". Hit the ball on the ground. Like I don't know how else to put it. Like, you guys, it's just decision making. Like to me, Neto wasn't even that bad. But what are you doing, getting a cross up in the air for a 5'9" striker to go 5'9" striker against Lewis Dunk? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
It's not good enough. It's not good enough.
No, it's not. None of it's good enough.
And the thing is that like,
good enough.
It's just really disappointing. It's just really disappointing because where we was considering the first 18 games of the season, Conference League was fine. We're getting through, and it wasn't perfect, but it was a good level where we were all confident in our team, and we could have a bit of chest and a bit of optimism for the season, considering our last 2 years have been bleak and average and poor. Okay, but then this season now is turning out to be a very similar season to last year, where we're out the cups. I don't care what stage. I don't care if it's the final, last kick of the game. You lose. You're out. You lost. Okay, I don't give a crap if we lost in the final this year or lost in the fourth round. It's the same thing to me. You lost. Okay, so we're out of both cups, and now we've got the Conference League. At least we're in Europe to win something. And if we don't win that, we already know the rest. So for me, the season is already at a point where you could still save it and have a respectable season, but a lot needs to change in the summer. A lot. We need to see a change in system from Maresca the next 15, 14 games. We need to see our players, like Joey said, the confidence is obviously low. The reason to answer your question, Joey, why is Palmer overhitting? Why is this player doing this? It's the system and confidence. When the system's not falling, the confidence drops. People start overcomplicating things. People don't know what they're doing. When the system started the season,
why do you think it's the system? Can you guys answer me that question? Why you think it's the system?
I'll tell you what it is. It's as cliche as it sounds. The first 18 games, teams didn't really have the setup that accommodated the way we played. So there was a bit, even Liverpool struggled. Okay, we would have won. Is it not facts that the Slot came out and said we were the best team that came to Anfield at that point, right? It's a fact.
Yeah.
No one really knew how our system was playing. Then, from the break,
but Chaz, I guess my question is this, right? In these last, this period of games that we had, right? Was it necessarily performance every game in the system, or were we not creating chances? Like, to me, it's like, is it the system itself that is not that's faltering, or is the
do you know what? Let me answer
and finishing those chances? Like,
I said it earlier,
sorry, VD, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say, I said it earlier. Is a good manager for me is someone that can utilize your players, like have a system built of utilizing your players the best. And right now, Maresca doesn't have that. We saw how good Gusto was overlapping last year, and his qualities suit that style of play of an overlapping fullback or a wing back almost. And instead, he's been made to invert where he can't pass. He doesn't have the IQ to be in the right positions. Even when he's sitting all the way back as a third centre back, again, that's not him. That's not him. He can't do that. And again, Sancho is not a touchline winger, bro. Sancho is someone that should be on the inside. Why isn't Nkunku not being played as a shadow striker as well? He should have been one of the 10s.
There's Felix so many things wrong with what you're saying. Can I go through one player per one player? Okay. So first thing, the Gusto thing, I totally get. Okay. I'm not going to disagree with you one bit about Gusto. Okay. Totally get it. All right. He has not played up to the standard in either positions that are required in this system. Okay. I'm not going to argue that one. All right. The Sancho thing, once again, comes down to profile within the attack. Okay. When you're playing profile within the attack, all right, Sancho is more of a creator. You're correct. You want him in the inside creating, though. You don't necessarily like in the situations. He's not ever been like a volume shooter per se. And me and you both know that. So it's like, realistically, you need someone for him to create. A shadow striker in either case, right? Because both of our guys are technically shadow strikers. Nkunku and Jackson, they're both like technically false nine, dropping into pockets, but Jackson does get in behind much more. Okay, that's a major difference between the two. But they really want to pick up the ball in the pockets and turn on people like that. If you're gonna play that kind of striker, you have to have inside forwards that are gonna attack the goal. Otherwise, it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. That's why you play a Madueke or you play Palmer on the outside. Okay, like to me, that's why you play those inside forwards that can score goals. That's why, in essence, they wanted to go for Garnacho as much as none of us wanted him, right? He would have been a volume shooter because of that, because of what he is a volume shooter. Direct, and he's a volume shooter. So it's like it's playing the profile of attackers together. When you're playing a Neto and a Sancho, you need a guy. They could create for the 9. They could create for a Gu. You see how in the last game, right? When Neto came on and Gu came on. When Neto looked 10 times more dangerous because what ends up happening? Gu occupies both center backs in every scenario. His runs are intelligent enough to occupy both center backs in any scenario. So it ends up leaving the opportunity for Neto and the wingers to be able to be more one-on-one and create. That profile, the problem is you buy 2 profiles of wingers that are supposed to be creators, and then you don't have the profile to complement them in the 9. And then you're questioning these 2 wingers. To me, I get where you're coming from, but then you can't play Sancho at all. Like you can't play Sancho.
Yeah, when I was talking about like the shadow striker, for me it would be one or the other, innit? It would be either Sancho plays in that position or Nkunku plays in that position or a thing behind Jackson. I wouldn't have like necessarily him up Nkunku up top dropping down or whatever. I mean, it could work in it, but I think also as an inside forward kind of thing, or because Nkunku at Leipzig, he was kind of like an inside forward, but he wasn't. He was like an inside forward and a shadow striker at the same time, right? In behind.
Amarin plays in the 10s where they're really close. That's kind of more of what he played. It was like
it's just I don't see how Maresca could have watched all of these games and still misuse them. Like he said, he watched every single game. He knows about every single player. How do you know about every single player and you still misuse them?
These are the things that we can question Maresca on, though, bro. These are the things, right? These are the types of things you can question Maresca on. Is like in this last game, bro, how do you play Nkunku up top with only one pacey winger? You have to have 2 guys being able to stretch the pitch while Nkunku comes up and picks up the ball in the midfield with Palmer. If you don't have anybody stretching the pitch, there's no outlet. That's why you had Sancho playing the ball long every single time to nobody. Because if you have no pace on the wings and Nkunku's dropping deep, the space in the middle is available, but you only have one winger being able to reach those types of balls. Not that Sanchez is even going to get that ball there anyways, because that's been a big majority of our problem is continuing to play Sanchez. Like his ball distribution, it's easy to defend us when you play this way. Like it's very easy to defend us. I'm telling you, all you have to do is press us man-to-man, leave Sanchez on an island to make the long ball, and then let him make the long ball because in the end, his long ball distribution is garbage. Who do we have up there to even get the long ball? It's easy to defend us, guys. It's not difficult. I just told you. Man-to-man marking, leave fucking Sanchez on an island, let him go long. Every time he goes long, he's like 18%, 25% in the game. You're going to win the ball back majority of the time. You're forcing us to get away from our game because we can't play within the lines. Us playing within the lines is how we play. If you're going to press us, we have to be able to play within the lines so we can counter you. We can't counter if you play man-to-man and you don't want to pass the ball through the lines. Sanchez does not want to pass the ball through the lines. He'll either go wide to the fullback like he did the entire game yesterday, or he'll go long and miss the player. It's easy. You have a 9 up there. You can hit the ball to the 9. 9 knocks it down, and you're on the counter. But we don't have a guy that can do that. Period. It's literally easy football.
I also do think we have strayed a bit from our natural game, because I think it was just before we went on the bad streak. There was one specific performance. I can't remember the team in it because my memory ain't good like that. But there was one specific performance where everything was clicking. We were moving the ball swiftly. Our pressing in one of the games was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. I remember watching it thinking, damn, he's finally implemented a press. But then watching it yesterday and a couple games before, it's like we strayed so far from what we were building. It's like the amount of long balls that I'm seeing our team make now. Cool. Yesterday there was like Caicedo making the long passes. That's when I feel like it was right? Because the run that Nkunku made, there was space in behind. The ball out wide. It was the right passes. But a lot of the time from the back, I'm just seeing us punt the ball for no reason when it's not needed to go there. Our pressing looks weak. The attacking runs look nothing.
Who do we have to hit the ball to?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it makes no sense.
Yeah.
From the defense, it makes no sense. Yeah, but like Caicedo was the only one doing it, like spraying a long ball with a foot. Like, okay, a man is free here. There's clearly a long ball to be made. I'm gonna make this pass. He was the only one doing it with an actual foot. Everybody else is like they're not. And I feel like Maresca's now trying to do the go long thing because the short passing weren't working or whatever. But
I don't think
we strayed far.
Because
maybe that's not the case, but I don't know, man.
Bro, in the last game, if you watch Jorgensen, bro, he made 2 attempts at long balls the entire game. 2. Sanchez made 18 in the last 2 games.
Jesus
18. It's a lack of confidence in his actual playing style. He can't pass the ball through the lines. When he does, the Baleba goal happens from last Brighton game. That's what happens. The Rice goal from last year happens. That's what happens when he tries to pass the ball through the lines.
This is what
it all boils down to. Are we listening closely? It all boils down to the profile players then, because Maresca is making do what he's got. So we could sit here all day long and say, like Joey said, if you're going to play in Nkunku, you need fast wingers to drag that pitch out. He can go to the middle, make those shadow runs, spray those balls off with Palmer, all that stuff. Plethora of opportunities. But because we don't have that, Mudryk is out. Obviously, Neto's on the right. Madueka's on the right. Felix is gone. He's got a bit of pace. We're stuck with playing Sancho. As Sanchez has lots of stick because he doesn't have that pace. There was plenty of opportunities last game, by the way, where Sancho was like sort of 1v1.
Go watch the last game again.
One second. There was a chance here.
Not our.
There was a chance with Sancho
before with Jorgensen, and watch his distribution and watch how confident he is, just fizzing the ball through the line.
Yeah, so like that.
But you watch in the game.
Who's doing that? Who does that a lot?
Game differently when you can keep the ball.
Tosin does that a lot, you know.
The ball go long every time.
Yeah, Tosin's calm on the ball. Tosin's like about.
Yeah, I like Tosin. I like Tosin. He's like one of the only players from the thing that actually likes to fizz the ball through the lines. I don't know. I just think Maresca should. If Sanchez is starting, you should have been focusing in training on playing a certain way.
The only player who's a little bit shaky.
It's really not difficult. It's really not a difficult concept if your goalkeeper understands what he's supposed to be doing. The goalkeeper
if you have Jorgensen, Tosin, and Chalobah,
Sanchez is in there, bro. Man. When even Tell made sense in this position for that position, just for the conversation on the left wing. If you're going to play Nkunku, you play Nkunku in the middle, and you play Tell on the outside. Tell can cut inside and naturally, which what he does, and gives himself space. But he's actually a bitch.
Look at the you guys remember the Nottingham Forest game? They were not in the Forest game in the summer when Mudryk scored that goal and Palmer fizzed it through, and then Mudryk gets on the end of it and finesses it. And we won, and that was the first half in not in the first game. You guys, that was one of our last games of the season. And basically, what my point is that we don't have that pace in the wings. It's something to do with Sancho. Sancho's not a bad player. He's an easy scapegoat. I get it. He's the Man United player. He's the big guy. I get it. Like, I get it. Like, easy. It was the low hanging fruit. Cool. But The problem is he highlights the issue of our system. There was plenty of opportunities yesterday for a pacey winger like Mudryk or Garnacho. Bro, he had bare one-on-one opportunities, but he's just so slow. He hasn't got that pace to take a man on. All he could do is jinky majinky.
Well,
if you can't
no,
jinky
bro.
majinky,
I think there was another
His
thing. It was
instinct
either
is-
last game or the game before.
Instinct, right?
He had a
Look at
perfect
the-
time to shoot
look-
and he squared it.
Yeah, and the other thing is like his instinct, bro. His instinct is because he does not have the pace, right? Is he can get by a man this way or this way. He can't get by a man straight, so he gets by a man this way or this way. So when he beats his man, he's looking across because he doesn't have the pace to get totally by him.
Don't have the pace to go around him.
So he gets by him just enough so he can make the cross. That's why he's a creator. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Well, he
Sancho
doesn't
would
Be
be
in
in
the
the
half
10.
spaces, man.
Yeah, Sancho's a half space player. He's not a winger.
But the like
He's not.
Like,
no, to be- if
you
you
can play in the
Sancho
half
like,
space. You could play him out in the wing, bro, if you had a guy crashing the box because nobody ever crashing the
yeah,
box.
that's the
Ever.
thing. There's no
Ever.
balancing ways. If you had a really pacey striker who can do that, then Sancho could facilitate him. Or if you're a really pacey winger, then your striker doesn't need to be that pacey. You can just be in the right place at the right time. But guess what? We're missing both. There's
Yep.
neither.
There's not
There's
enough
no
pace
pacey
on the
winger
wings. There's no
on the left.
There's no
I
poacher
don't
in
think
the
Neto's
box.
a problem. Like you said, Joe, if the balance was right and you had two Netos, I think we'd be fine. If we had right foot Neto and left foot Neto, I don't think there would be an issue because then they would occupy the fullbacks. Then you've got Palmer in the middle, who then has
Yo,
occupies the
everything goes back to the summer of us going and looking at the right profiles, 3 correct profiles, and
not
not
getting any of
landing
them.
one of them. That's it. All goes back to that. You went and got the 3 correct profiles,
That's Stacey
You
Jones.
get
That's
one.
That's why
You get
Danavidi's
one.
got to go.
and
He's
this
got to go
shit,
soon. Yeah.
you get one, and
Yeah, I was just about to
half
say.
this shit isn't even a problem. Half of it isn't a problem.
Literally, Danavidi's got to go. So
That's
shout
it.
his channel. But this is why I said to people, although we're here where we are now, it was literally we were literally one player signing away from being a lot better position. If we had Duran right now
Comfortable.
or Samu, no one's
no,
saying we'd be
Tez,
first place,
Tez,
clearing the Conference League. But
one
just
more
make a big
position,
difference.
one position, and we're comfortable, bro.
That's
We're
what I've been
comfortable.
saying, BD. I'm not been saying that
That's
this
the
whole stream.
difference.
Mhm.
One
I said to you,
position, and we're comfortable at least.
People ask me
We
on my
are
stream, this is
comfortable
what
where
Joe,
we
you know what's
are.
so funny?
That's the
I think that's,
problem.
let me let VD go because me and Joe will talk a bit more.
Yeah.
Shout out VD. His
Yeah.
Twitter
Thanks for having me on, man.
below. Love for VD for joining. We'll get to speak more often because I don't always invite VD
Yeah.
on the show. So it'd be sick to get Joey on as well because it's quite good. I like this panel. We're quite balanced. But shout out VD. Twitter handle below.
Yeah, go on.
But yeah, we'll speak soon, man. Love for the love.
Yeah, in a bit.
Love people.
Big up, VD.
But Joe, I've been saying, I've been literally on my live, I've been saying to people on this channel, Joe, I said, they're like, Ches, but our defense, we're leaky. I was like, we've always been leaky. That is like I'm used to leakiness. My problem is, I did you already, Joey. You're good. My problem is, it's the attack. We need a profile up front who can offer something different to Jackson. Because Jackson plays like a winger up front. He's not a striker like that. And the thing is, fair play to Jackson
But
because
Chaz,
he's a
here's
Premier
the
League.
problem with it, right?
He's
Here's
come
the
into the
problem.
Prem and he's actually done a good
No,
job.
no,
Because
no.
for a guy to go from Spain to the Premier League and do what he's doing, fair play. That's flipping difficult.
No,
But guess what?
Bro,
We had Duran and Sammy there. They were there.
January. We needed it since last January.
I know.
when
We needed to
Jackson
strike
went
for time.
to AFCON. When Jackson went to AFCON, they should have seen the signs. Bro, we didn't have anybody. We were playing Cole Palmer up front. They should have saw the signs then. Like the signs were there. He's gone to AFCON and our performance dropped. We didn't have anybody else. We're talking about last year under Poch. Like seriously, it's malpractice. This is what I've been saying for it's malpractice all January. I said this is malpractice. At this point, it's malpractice, bro. We're not. They are not doing their jobs. Period. Your job is to address the squad's needs. That's what your job's is. That's what your job is.
Yeah, and I
To
know.
address the squad's needs. That is what your job is. And you failed to do so 3 windows in a row.
Miserably as well. It's not even like they tried. They tried, but they just didn't get over the line. To try and we don't care about trying. I don't care about
trying, bro. I don't give a shit.
The thing
about
is, you've
trying.
done the right thing. You've done the hard work. You got Samu. You had Duran there twice.
You scouted the players, bro.
We had Duran twice ready. 2020, we had him early, and then we had him late in the window as well. That fell through. Samu fell through, and now we're stuck with nobody.
Mm-hmm.
So this is why I think, Joey. I actually do think we'll get a striker. I think we will. I think we will. I think we'll get one.
There's no doubt we're getting.
We're gonna get one, and that's why I'm not overly the top about the ball. I don't. That's why I'm still sticking out as being how I am, purely because when it goes right,
I can already guess the window for you. I already know what the window is going to be.
I think we're going to get
right now what the summer window is going to be. They'll obviously, and then it's going to be Bino.
See, Joey knows. They'll get the easiest one.
It's going to be
the lap.
The lap and Bino Gittins. They're probably already done with the lap. The lap's probably already done. They're just waiting.
I think the lap. It'll be the lap or Sesko because they're very similar. Young players, easy to kind of get.
Sesko.
But the fact is, Sesko will be on low money. He's also young. Like it'll be easy to get.
But from what I understand is about Sesko, is Arsenal are way ahead of us on the Sesko run. Like
which makes sense. They've been linked to him for a while.
Like so like.
But Chelsea be speaking to him. I know Chelsea definitely.
I think they're gonna be. I think it's gonna be the Joe Shields show in the summer. I really do. I think it's the Joe Shields show in the summer. We go for the lap, we go for Gittins. We swap Carney for Gittins somehow. That's what's going to end up being. Because Dortmund
listen. But guess what?
Dortmund ain't getting.
I wouldn't mind. I don't really care about I do care about the quality of the player, but it's the profile, Joey. That's what you've been harping on.
Both of them are the correct profile. If you want
their profiles, people kept on telling me, Joe, because I think we had a similar rhetoric where people were telling us, you need experience.
Mm-hmm.
There is a man on the table.
Experience is
bro,
overrated.
let me tell you this story. Let me tell you this right now.
If you're good enough, you're old enough.
The line with big majors like the Prems and the Champ. That's what you need experience. You don't win a Premier League championship.
That's what I need. I need
exactly leadership. Exactly, and leadership comes with.
I need leadership.
Experience.
I need leadership. Like
25-year-old have enough experience. Exactly. A 25-year-old can have enough experience and leadership. It's not about necessarily the age. But I understand the argument. I've always been saying to people, it's the profile of player. It's the profile. It's not being necessarily experienced. Because Neto is the right profile, even though he's not the most experienced player. Do you understand? That's why everyone praised us for that. So if we got Gittins, Delap, and God willing, we got Huijsen from Bournemouth. Just those alone, they instantly improve our team. Instantly.
Mm-hmm.
Because yes, they're not the most world-class players, and yes, they're not the top echelon.
Yeah, but
guess what?
But
the correct
Huijsen, though, by the way, I doubt we get Huijsen.
No, that's
if we get Huijsen,
that's why I said God willing.
I'm gonna be serious.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying,
miracle, bro. Because we're gonna be up against Barca and Madrid next year for Huijsen, both Madrids. Because everybody in Spain is gonna watch the guy. Like we're gonna they'll get Saliba and Huijsen next year. Watch. Like
I think Fab put that tweet out as a PR thing. I think you remember that tweet he put out. That was PR, innit? Chelsea are looking at Huijsen on their list. It's PR.
Yeah, bro.
It's all PR, innit? It's just basically
we're more likely to get Murillo than we are Huijsen. Let me put it.
But either way, I'm happy with both of them.
Yeah.
Murillo's calm. I'll take Murillo every single day of the week.
Yeah.
Much
I'm
better
just
than
saying that's what we're more likely. That's what I see as more likely.
But I don't mind if you have your A and B list. I don't really mind.
As long as Murillo, I think.
As long as the profile is correct for our system, because the only good thing about the way we play, Joey, the players we buy, is they're not set for one system. They're very technical, so they can adapt to different systems. What we lack, Joey, is physical. We don't have a lot of physical players. We don't have a lot of like players who can have a fight in the game.
It's just sad, Cass, because
yeah,
we went and Chaz, excuse me. It's sad that we went and we let two of our probably most physical profiles in the midfield just go unknown. Like we went and we bought a player and let Leslie, who is a physical fucking freak over at Southampton right now, just dominating literally every. If you go watch, if anybody's watched Southampton recently, like I know they're shit, but he's been really good. Like, and Andre Santos is best midfielder in League One. So, like, outplaying pretty much everybody. So, like, and he actually is a 6. Like, he actually plays a 6. Like, naturally plays a 6. He's an 8 because he's an 8.
Yeah, I thought he was an 8.
Grade, but he can naturally play the 6. To me, we go back to this last window, bro, and I look at I don't mind Jorgensen after like watching him and stuff. I don't mind him, but we look at like what the manager wanted, and it's like clear what the manager wanted. Okay, it's been reported what the manager wanted. He wanted Hermansen. What did we go do? We went and got KDH, and we went and got Jorgensen for more than what we would have spent on Hermansen. What did we needed a goal? We needed a striker. What did we do? Instead of just saying whatever the situation with his medical, whatever, we'll deal with it later. I'm sure his medical wasn't that bad. I'm sure, because he passed the medical in Portugal a week later. Okay? He passed the medical in Portugal a week later. If you get a Meridian for Gallagher, you look like geniuses. You look like geniuses. You made a swap deal for a position of priority. You look like geniuses. But instead, you got bullied by Mendes to get João Felix.
Problem.
It was that simple, bro. It was that simple.
But the only good thing from the season is that because you're right. Because there's such gaping issues, there's now no hiding place. That's the only good thing. I like that. I like Delap. I probably prefer Delap over Samu because I think Delap's profile is very, very good. I think Delap's tall, he's physical, he's technical, and he could shoot. And he doesn't need a lot of chances. So I like Delap. But guess what? Joey's spot on. The issue isn't about the play in particular. It's the fact that they had them there and they moved and pivoted based off opportunities. You can't keep doing that. No one cares about your opportunities if you're sorting the spine out. I'll tell you this now. If they do a PR stunt and like Gittins in the lap in the first week, then they do a bunch of opportunities. No one cares. Because we're just 2 issues.
Bro, exactly.
And then later on in the window, you get a centre back. Cool. No one will care.
Danny,
like, no one really cares.
You
Like,
want to know
money on the
something? He's
side.
actually
Cool,
much better. He's actually much better than people give him credit for, too, in the air. He's actually very good. Yo, the lap, people are going to be surprised on how well this guy plays for our club.
He's a good footballer. He's a good footballer, man.
Fit-wise, though, Ches. Fit-wise. You get that same type of build-up that Jackson can do, but the guy's always in the box.
And he's physical.
He's always in the box.
He's dragged. He's physical.
And he's
tenacious.
physical.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So like, that's what I'm saying. Fit-wise, it makes sense. That's why I think this summer it's the Joe Shields show. Gittins and Delap are both ex-Man City players. The Joe Shields show. He goes and he gets two guys that he wants. Maybe.
Oh, you know what my dream would be, Joey? You know what my dream would be? Oscar Bob. That would be my dream.
Yeah.
He is flipping cold. Yeah. I'll love him in Chelsea.
We wanted him too.
I know. If we can get Oscar Bob or Delap, I'll be.
It's gonna be Delap and Gittins. I'm gonna be.
It's gonna be Delap. If it's not Delap, it'll be a better player.
Danny, you gotta go watch. You gotta go watch him at Hull last year. You gotta go watch the games at Hull last year when he played for Hull. And by the way, Danny, the Hull manager last year is the Strasbourg manager this year. So like they have a good
what's his
idea.
name? Rosner.
So he's having they have a good idea about the guy already.
They're on course to get what? What's top 6 for them? Is it Europa League still? They're on course to get top 6 Europe, basically.
They could. I think they'll end up around. I think they could get Conference League next year. Strasbourg.
So top. What's that? Is the same as English? 8th, like top 7,
7th or 8th. Yeah.
That's not too fair, considering where they was last year, where they were battling relegation. They've actually improved so far.
No, they're very good. They're a
top mid-table team in League On.
Chez, they got the positions they needed addressed in January.
Yeah, no, I know the irony. I know the irony.
That's the disgusting part about it.
Yeah, the irony.
Strasbourg got the positions they needed.
They got
to
that guy
address
from
in
America, that
January.
right back, innit? That left back. What's
Left
his
back.
name?
The left back.
Yeah.
Barco. They needed a
People
left
waiting.
back.
People,
They got a
Barco's
left back.
he's a
They
football
needed
manager.
a midfielder.
He's a football
They
manager
got a
wonder kid, by the
midfielder.
way. Hey, Joey, you know he's a wonder kid. He's a wonder kid, a football manager in FIFA. I remember Barco.
Bro, the
remember
Rossinier was like, yo, I
Barco.
know. Bro, Rossinier is like, yo, I've known Barco for a while. I've spoken with Barco. He's like, I've wanted this guy here. Like,
Football
bro,
manager hype.
bro, I'm telling you, man. It's disgusting what they did. It's disgusting. It's disgusting.
But you know what?
Like-
I don't know why I feel like they'll actually turn it around. I don't know why I feel that way. And it's not optimism because no one's optimistic. No one in this chat or Joey is optimistic. It's not. No one's forcing me to be optimistic. It's just when they bought Caicedo and Enzo, that showed me what they're on. So I genuinely think they'll buy a striker. But then it begs the question, which is Joey could argue back and go, Ches, if they cared so much, why didn't they buy a striker last summer or in January? But they tried to.
Well,
and it's
I
failed
can
in the
give
end.
you reasonings by why they didn't do it January.
So can I. That's why I'm not overly pessimistic. Joey, my thing is, before we go, I'm not going to be a sheep and completely change my stance based off 9 games. That's just my opinion. I know a lot of people, because Joey, let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. In December, where was this noise? Joey?
Oh, I hear it.
Hello?
I hear it.
I love the chat. But where was all this noise in December?
Yeah, I hear it.
Where was it? By the way, with the same players. I know we missed Lavin Fofana, but like I said on NAF, they're never here. So it's disgenerous for me to say we missed them because they're never playing. They're not reliable.
They're not reliable.
But I'm just saying, man, in the chat, I love.
Well, when we had them though, we did.
When we have them, but they're never here. It's sad, isn't it? But my thing is, chat. I love all you lot. Wavy agreeing with me. Wavy, I hear you. Where was this energy in December when we were sitting second, and the manager with the same players was getting score goals, and now all of a sudden you're telling me it's completely gone? That's why it's on the manager too. Like Joey said, it's a bit of both.
Yeah.
It's a bit of both.
Everybody. Yeah.
So a lot of people who didn't rate the ownership obviously now allowed, aren't they? I'm not going to name them because obviously it's not that kind of show. But let's just see how the season plays out. Because Joey, if we get 6th, 7th place and we don't sign a striker, am I going to say the same thing? No. So
I just here's my thing.
That's just how I feel. How you can end up with how you feel. That's my opinion.
I feel like after this next window,
Spurs.
Right? After this next window, they got no excuses.
There we go.
Like they didn't have, in my opinion, they didn't have any excuses before. But I know that they ain't gonna get fired this next summer. I know that. They got no excuses. Like after this upcoming window. Like, that's the only reason why they even get this next window.
Mafia, that's what I'm on. And
exactly.
Like I said to VD earlier, this isn't people gonna. But you say the same thing about Arsenal.
By the way, Mafia, we got to go play FIFA here in a bit. So let's go play FIFA here in a bit.
Yeah, shout out Mafia. But I'm gonna pro cups later on as well. My main thing is but you said about Arsenal chairs next summer, Netflix FC next window. The difference is I'll get onto Arsenal because they don't win anything. Chelsea, in my opinion, need to be winning on the way to progressing. It's not just about progress. You need to win, show armpits, grow the mentality. If Chelsea do an Arsenal in the next 3-4 years, Joey, we sign a striker, we're not winning anything, and it's all cute, and we improve. I don't care about that. I don't care. If we get top 4, I don't really care. It's just nice to be back in the Champions League. That's it. And we, like we said before, we can sign better players on higher wages, etc. And for context, guys, Chelsea's wages will go up if you make Champions League, and the players will bring in their wages will go up. So everyone's going to go up, I think, 30%, which is quite a lot of money if you think about it. So basically, the whole club will be viewed differently now if Palmer's on 180k and now we're in Champions League. You see, so things could change like that. So my thing is,
I mean, realistically, Ches, what do we have to do other than maintain the position that we're in?
That's why it's on our hands. You just got to just keep it ticking.
Like realistically, like that's all we have to do at this current moment. Maintain the position that we're.
Of course, we are. We're upset.
No, like It's like we're not allowed. Like we're not allowed to be upset about this stuff, though. That's what it comes.
Yeah,
down to.
you know what?
You know what,
You know what? You're right.
We don't because we don't hate on the ownership group because we don't hate the ownership group, right, Ches? We're not allowed to be upset about it. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is.
That's a good point because like you can't be both. You can't be like you can't like them, but also criticize them. You got to hate them and criticize them. You can't be in.
Yeah,
you have to be like, no, they're finished. All Chelsea
they have
fans
to be out, and you can't out or
a lot of them
one or the
maintain
other.
the standards. Are like, oh yep, get them out. And if you're not like that, you don't care. It's like, bro, you
the
think I
only
want to
thing
be
that
in
was
sixth
maintaining
place?
our standards was Tuchel. Like,
Do you know who you're
before that.
talking to? Do you know who I
Before
am?
that,
I made
only thing that
my
was
name by
maintaining that
being
standard.
about standards. It's not about that. It's using the perspective of what I see, not what I believe. I saw us by Caicedo. Is that false?
Mhm.
Did I not see Neto last year? It's not belief. It's not hopium. I've seen it. So I want Joey. I want to see it again. We'll end up on this. I want to see us get it again. I know this isn't summer yet. It's still cold in the UK and in New York. That's a fact. Shout out Joey in that.
I'm not
It's
in
very
New York
cold.
anymore, though.
You moved.
Oh yeah, I moved out of New York.
Oh,
I'm in
yes,
a
no,
living
but
place
it's
now.
cold originally where you're from.
I live in the desert now, my man.
Oh, you're in a hot climate, yeah?
Yeah,
Wearing a
I
jumper,
live in
though.
the desert.
Brother.
It's cold in the morning. It's 8 in the morning.
Oh, yeah. It's early for you, yeah. But in the UK, in the UK and in the main parts of Europe, it's cold. So it's not summertime yet, is my point. We're far from it. But while we're speaking like this, is because the January transfer just ended. Chelsea are not doing that well, and because see clear holes in our team. But what I would say is, you've spent the money before on key players. Go and do that again because we need it. And if you don't do that, you're going to see your team that you've invested in Clear Lake go from just stagnating from being 6th and 4th, fluctuating between that. Fan base not happy. It doesn't benefit your model if the fan base isn't happy. So the bare minimum you could do is invest in the squad and do that part. And
correctly. Invest in the squad correctly.
Correctly
is the keyword.
And the key word is win. Not compete, you win. I don't care about, but Poch made it to a final. Don't
and
revise
bro, we weren't even that
season.
far off this year, bro. You just needed to fucking man. Let's move on. Let's close this up. I'm gonna keep reiterating the same.
You guys know our point of view. We repeat, hour and a half in. Love every single one of you for joining. In the end, likes actually went up respectfully to what they should have been, which is around 70, 80, which is very, very good. Can I get, before we go, everybody to check out Wab Sports TV below in description. If you click that or more, his channel will literally be there right this second. You'll click on that, you subscribe, and subscribe to this channel too. If all of you did that now, we'd both got by a lot of subscribers. Do you know what I mean? So everybody, if you love every single time, Carl, big up yourself, yeah, from the Never a Foul chat. You should big up the dog as well in the background wagging his tail. He's excited because he knows that we're gonna get extra subscribers. He knows we can get extra subscribers. Yeah? Big up Nehemiah. Guys, hit the like button and sub up. Let's do it now. Yeah? Let's run this. But yeah, love for the love. Love Joey. Love VD for jumping on. Love NFL for the raid. This is going to go over to Big Six Banks. Watch along, which is going to start very, very soon. We'll speak to you guys soon.